So Yahoo Sports was putting together a happy birthday video for #Tommy, and Sam Darnold, the second-year Jets quarterback, who is 22 to Brady's 42, declined to participate. That's just it, man. Knowing what I've got to do, I'm going to get every competitive edge I can because he's going to do the same thing. He's the ultimate competitor. He's exactly where I want to be when I'm his age. To chase that, I can't be giving him anything. Dude, all you're doing is saying happy birthday, for crying out loud. It's not like you're buying him a car. Just say happy birthday. Learn how to be fake. You can hate him privately. Just say happy birthday and be done with it. Anyway, that gave us the inspiration, Charean, for today's draft. Very simple, because, look, the Patriots are still the class of the AFC. They prove it every year. They've been to the AFC Championship game every season since 2011, for crying out loud. So, which team is the biggest threat to the Patriots and Tom Brady in the AFC? Obviously, there's going to be 6 teams that we pick, and since you have filled in the pinch again, you get to go first. No coin toss. I don't win them anyway, so you get the first pick.
Well, I'm throwing you a huge curveball here because when I got it from stats, it didn't say which team. It says, what is the biggest threat to the Patriots' reign in the AFC?
This is good.
The biggest threat should be obvious. An injury to Tom Brady is the biggest threat to the Patriots not going back to the Super Bowl to represent the AFC. Even then, they're going to be contenders because we saw it when he got hurt in that Chiefs game in the first game of 2008, and they still went 11-5. Now, they didn't make the playoffs, I understand. Still had a winning record with Matt Castle, of all people. So this is a team that can win even when Tom Brady's not there, but I don't think they can win a Super Bowl if Tom Brady's not there.
Well done. Well done. I'll give you that one. And I want the record to be clear that if Tom Brady gets injured, Charean is the one who applied the jinx, not me. Do not blame me, Patriots fans. Yeah. She's the one that has identified the primary threat to Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. So I like the creativity. I guess my pick should be another suspension for Tom Brady, although I don't think the NFL is in the business of suspending great players now. They realize the impact of not having great players on ratings, which then impacts the bottom line. So I'll take the most obvious team that they need to be concerned about, the team that almost beat them in the AFC Championship game, and the team that is going to be coming at them harder than ever, the Kansas City Chiefs, who have beat up their defense, and their defense didn't have to be much better for them to be better than the Patriots, and I think they've done enough defensively that the Chiefs are, even though I'm not ready to say the Chiefs can, but I think they are a threat, and the biggest threat, other than injury to Tom Brady, to the Patriots in the AFC.
Such a predictable answer, Mike. I knew you would go there, but it is the right choice. But you know what I said yesterday, and so I have to stick to that. And I know it's going to be old takes exposed if they don't come back and even make the playoffs. But I've got to go with the Colts, right? Because I said it yesterday. I am putting an asterisk on this with Andrew Luck for 16 games. He's got to be there. If Andrew Luck's not there, all bets are off. I'm not taking the Colts. But if Andrew Luck's there, I think the Colts are terrific, and I like what they're building. I think they're going to be good for a long time, but I think they're going to be really good this year if Andrew Luck plays.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that because of what they built last year and how well they exceeded their expectations, because they have that great offensive line. They've drafted very well with Chris Ballard and Frank Reich, even though he wasn't on the radar screen before they had the wink-nod agreement with Josh McDaniels. He emerged as the clear candidate after McDaniels backed out, and Frank Reich just feels like the guy who should have been the first choice all along. So it's worked out well for the Colts. And I agree with you. If Andrew Luck's healthy, they will be a serious threat. I'm going to go with another predictable one. Charean, you could have sandbagged me on both of these until round 3 with the injury to Tom Brady and the Colts. I'll take the other obvious one. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are motivated. They are upset. They are keenly aware of the fact that the Patriots have caught them with 6 all-time Super Bowl championships, and they roll into Foxborough week 1. And I think that Mike Tomlin and company, no matter how they got there, and even though it's kind of self-inflicted with the way they mishandled Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, they, I think, have pulled together tightly, and Ben Roethlisberger has a chip on his shoulder bigger than ever. They got a lot of guys in that locker room that are upset about what happened last year, and they're coming together and doing everything they need to do, checking every box necessary to get themselves in position to win. And I think this year, and remember last year, the Steelers did beat the Patriots in the regular season, which, typically when those two teams get together, the Patriots find a way to make it happen for them. I think the Steelers, if they encounter them in the postseason this year, this could be the year that the Steelers find a way to take down the Patriots.
There's no question the Steelers are motivated. They have the quarterback and they have the coach, and both of those guys know how to win a Super Bowl. So that's a great choice. I'm going to throw you another curveball here. I'm going to go with my third choice, Nick Foles. I mean, he's done it before,
That's not a curveball.
right?
See, I tried to sandbag you. I was holding Nick Foles for round 3, but go ahead. You got him.
So Nick Foles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. He's done it. It's the only time he started and played against the Patriots. I think he owns the New England Patriots.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, look at what the Jaguars had 2 years ago. They were up by 10 points, should have been 17 in the fourth quarter, but for an officiating error. And I think Nick Foles would have held a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter against the New England Patriots. And it is going to be a fascinating dynamic if they cross paths in the postseason. Would Nick Foles and the Jaguars be able to handle the Patriots? I don't think the Patriots want anything to do with Nick Foles again, although I guess they would puff out their chests and say, let's have another shot at him. I think based upon what we saw the last time around, they should not want that. All right, I'm going to go with another one I guess is fairly obvious, and if we're going to have high hopes for the Cleveland Browns, we have to assume the Cleveland Browns are a team that could stick it to the New England Patriots with the talent that they have, with that moxie that Baker Mayfield brings to the table. And if the Browns end up being as good as people expect them to be, they should be a threat to the Patriots in the 2019 season, in the postseason more specifically. And I guess it would be fitting because the Browns, the team that Bill Belichick coached at one point, although that team is now the Ravens. I know Browns fans and Ravens fans don't like that when we point it out, but it's the truth. But still, he coached in Cleveland, and it would be fitting to see the Browns get a shot at the Patriots. And I think it's a team in the AFC that the Patriots should be a little bit concerned about, at least for now.
The one team we didn't mention is the Chargers, and I do think the Chargers are good enough to contend, and I think they will contend and even have a chance to knock off the Chiefs and win that division. But I would say that's probably the only team that we didn't mention there that has a chance to do this. I don't see any of these dark horses that we didn't name coming out and getting it done.
We did leave the Ravens off of the list, and the Ravens do have a history of going to Foxborough and winning games in the postseason. I just think that whatever they do on offense, what this revolutionary approach that they believe they're going to unleash on the NFL, and John Harbaugh made the recent comment to NFL Network that it could be like the 49ers of the 1980s. I think whatever it is, when they play, if they cross paths in the postseason, I think Bill Belichick will figure out how to stop Lamar Jackson. That's why I left the Ravens off. I just don't think this Ravens team, and I hate to give Joe Flacco more credit than maybe people think he deserves, but I don't think this Ravens team is going to be able to handle Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, because by the time they meet, Belichick will have everything he needs to figure out exactly how to stop the Ravens offense. And as I'm saying that, Charean, as I'm saying that, I am consciously aware of the fact that they're probably going to play it back on a Monday morning in January after the Ravens beat the Patriots in the playoffs, thanks to Lamar Jackson.
Well, I think we both agree they have the defense. They have the defense almost every year, and that defense is going to keep them in games. It's can the offense get it done and score enough points to win enough games, and that would include being the Patriots to get where they want to go. And I just think there's too many question marks right now to put the Ravens on that list. And we have teams that come out of nowhere, and they could be one of those teams because their defense is so good. But just too many questions on offense right now for me to say that they're a contender to go into Foxborough and knock off the Patriots and get to the Super Bowl.
Of course, they'll have a chance to engineer home field advantage for a postseason rematch with the New England Patriots, because they do get together Week 9 in Baltimore on NBC Sunday Night Football. So halfway through the season, Bill Belichick will get a crack at Lamar Jackson and company, and then he gets a second shot. And look what happened with the Chargers. That second pass through with that offense last year. The Chargers lost to the Ravens the first time, got together again, and knew how to stop that offense. You can't outsmart Bill Belichick, and I know that the Ravens have been trying to do it for years. You can outmuscle him. You can catch him flat-footed. flat-footed like the Ravens have managed to do, but you're not going to outsmart him with this new offense. He's going to figure it all out. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, some things that we'll be looking for tonight as the preseason gets rolling. First, though, Charean's picks as the things that pose the biggest threat to the Patriots and Tom Brady, an injury to Tom Brady. She said it, not me. The Colts and Nick Foles and the Jaguars. I've got the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Browns. Omitted from the list, the Chargers and the Ravens. They'll probably be salty about that, but hey, it's only a 3-round draft. We did what we could. We'll be back with more PFT Live right after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.